We have our reading time is from 8:45 in the morning, right after PE, and then it ends at 10:40. And then we have our writing block from then until lunchtime for the most part, and that normally incorporates some reading as well. They have to read, and we'll read a passage about what we're going to have to write about and an example of what they need to be writing, and then we get to write for that amount of time, but it still incorporates reading. So all of it, from what I can tell, everything we do in class incorporates reading, because reading is the foundation of everything we need to be doing in life. We have whole group. Automatically, when we get back from PE, we start whole group, and that normally involves my teacher reading a passage, and then the students maybe will read the passage with her, and they will work together on some worksheets. I don't like to call them worksheets, but that's what they are. They're from their workbook. They just aren't allowed to write in their workbook, so they have to make copies, so all of the students have to have copies of the work that they're supposed to be completing. After that, we do small group rotations, and we have teacher's choice, which is my teacher gets to choose when she gets a set of students, what that set of students needs to be working on. If it's the advanced students, she might be teaching them a skill that the rest of the class hasn't learned yet, and then if it's maybe the students that are a little bit behind, it will be her reteaching something that maybe those students just didn't understand. So that's all her choice, whatever she wants to do and what she feels the students need, that's what she does. Book nook time is one of the stations also. That is when the students get to read their AR books, or they get to play on the iPads to take tests. Obviously it's not playing on them, but they get to use the iPads to take tests, their AR tests, or they get to go to the library and exchange their books if they've already read their stories and taking tests on them. Or they also, sometimes if the library is closed and they've already read their book, they will swap books with a friend, and they can then read their book and take a test on it. And a lot of times the kids partner read together, and it's just a fun time for them to read and enjoy reading. Then we also have tech time. And tech time is when the students will rotate to the computers, or they will get an iPad and they will play reading games on the iPad and on the computer, or they'll get on Stride Academy, which is they'll get to play their reading games. And then there's some other programs that they use that I'm not real familiar with the names of the websites, but it's all reading programs, and that's the only thing they're allowed to do during that time. The Tier 2 intervention is actually during reading block, but it's not in our classroom. The entire 3rd grade has their intervention time at the same time, and the 3rd grade teachers have worked together to put the students in the section that they need based off of their reading scores and their reading levels in the classroom. And then the entire 3rd grade, whatever group they were in, if they were all, say, they're on a 2.2 level, those students will meet together with a specific teacher, and that teacher will work on skills just for that group of students. And then, so they go from low to, I guess more of the advanced students, and then the advanced students don't have to go to intervention. They get to stay in their regular classroom and read their AR books, or take tests, or go to the library and that kind of stuff. So it's spread out over the entire 3rd grade, which I like, because then my CT isn't having to do Tier 2 intervention with every level of students in her classroom. She's just having to do it with one group of students instead of the entire group of students. So I really think that that's a smart way to do the Tier 2 intervention time.